perfect lips got me rushing pain, and I'm so lit. Like lilies you open, the fragrance goes to my head, my darling. I get everything that has been, don't matter no more. We've burned it. All those whirlwinds can't touch us no more. We've earned it. We've earned it.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome here in Sega. My name is Dennis Uhuru and I'm happy and privileged to talk to you guys in 2026. Today is 4th January 2026 and you know, it's not guaranteed that you see a new year. It is a blessing and we have to be grateful, and because of that I'm very grateful. I'm very happy that you and we've managed to cross into the new year, and we are poised and primed to take on 2026. Alright, so I'm still at home. I still haven't gone back to Nairobi. My new year didn't start off so well. We've encountered a few speed bumps that we'll talk about in this video. Mama had a small accident on 1st of January 2026, and we'll talk about that later on, but she's doing fine. She's well right now. We want to have a bit of breakfast and then rush to church. Today is Sunday, so I just want to have a quick shower and then take mom to church. Ronnie is remaining behind to do a bit of laundry, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the new year and our prospects. You know, we have to be very enthusiastic and optimistic when we turn the leaf, when we get into a new year, right? We'll talk some more.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
Moments later.
Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, I've been playing around with a few angles to get the best lighting. I've tried several angles, as you guys are able to see, and it seems this is the best I could manage with regards to lighting. The background is not the best in the compound. These are actually I call them fire and forget toilets. And I've been really enjoying them for the duration of my stay here in Sega. You know, in the city we don't have fire and forget toilets. You know, I'm a glass half full kind of person, so whenever anything happens I try to look at the bright side. Some birds making noises, very beautiful noises in these trees. Yeah, but as I was saying, I'm a glass half full kind of person. Whenever something bad happens to me, I try to look at the positive sides, the bright sides of that thing, and I'm always able to find the bright side. One of my favorite quotes is from J.K. Rowling, the author of the famous Harry Potter series. Happiness can be found in the darkest of times. If only one remembers to turn on the light. And that saying has always stuck with me. We'll be looking at what has happened and also looking at the bright side of these things. And you guys will be surprised to see that there are several bright sides and that God is good. Right, so guys, you know the way things sometimes happen in sequence, and when the first thing happens, it looks serious at that time, but then the second thing happens and the first starts looking like it's not so serious anymore. It's almost inconsequential. And then the third thing happens and the first two things are like, it's almost like a joke at that point, right? They lose all seriousness, they become inconsequential. I really wished I would have caught the chicken that was pecking my car and just chew it. I really wish I could have chewed that chicken. But right now, looking back, I mean, it's not serious anymore with what followed. So that happened, right? And then a few days later, after Christmas, we went for a get-together somewhere in Bondo to visit my grandmother on my mom's side. And of course, I went with Mom and Ronnie and Junior and my big sister Winnie, and we had a very wonderful time in that place. But then, of course, you understand that in places like that, there's still that community vibe going on, so that if there is an event in a homestead, children from the neighboring homesteads can also come and, you know, just share in the meal and in the happy time, right? And play and things like that. So there was a kid that came who wasn't very good. And so we had our get together. We spent the night in that place. We actually spent 2 nights in that place. So the first night we arrived very late in the evening. We just got to meet family and have and share supper together. And then the get together was on the following day. And that also went quite well. It was a beautiful affair. And it was during this time that those children from the neighboring homesteads came, and we had a good time. But then one of them wasn't very good. That night, we went to bed. And when I woke up the following morning, so the third day, which was our departure day, one side of the underfeet is completely scratched, and even went further to scratch the bumper that we painted just a few days ago. And you know, when I woke up and discovered that, I was a very disappointed person. I wasn't very happy about it. But then the third thing happened, and when the third thing happened, the first two have sort of faded in the background. Let me paint a picture for you guys. So on 31st at night, the night of crossing into 2026, you know the way on 31st they had crossover programs on almost all TV channels. I actually remember that when the clock struck 12 a.m., Mom and I were dancing in the house, and we were just happy that we had crossed over into 2026. It was one of those very nice moments. The following day, of course, was 1st of January. We had a normal day, and then at night we were supposed to have a road runner for supper. So Mom made that with some very delicious rice. It was around 9 or 9:30 at night, you know, and Mom decided to go outside to pour some water. So what happened after that is, of course, we didn't know that she'd broken her hand. We thought it was a sprain or something. But then it just so happened that my young brother, Ronnie, is around, and Ronnie is a CO, a clinical officer, for those of you that don't know. And Ronnie advised that our first course of action was to take mom to a hospital and get an x-ray, just to see what was going on in her hand before we could take further measures, right?
It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep, 'cause I'm not tired. I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young. I told you that we should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep, I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside and I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you.
So mom has a cast on her arm, and hopefully she's going to recover and regain strength in that arm. It just so happens that it is her right arm that she broke. So that is what happened. But now let's look at the bright sides of these things that have happened. The first thing that happened, of course, was the hen that pecked my car. I'm not angry about that anymore. I think that is because the very following day, on 25th of Christmas, we chewed a road runner, and that sort of paid for what happened. I'm not sure if the hen we chewed is the one that was pecking the car, but even if it wasn't, at least we chewed a hen, and that sort of balanced what had happened. Like I said, I was very furious about that for a bit. But then, I sat and thought about it. It slowly started coming to me that this person that did this thing, they did it because they were hurting. But it also occurred to me that they had a conscience and that God spoke to them, because actually that is what your conscience is, the divine speaking to you. This person, they could have gone further, but they didn't. I started thinking about it and I realized, well, they ruined the paintwork, but they didn't slash the tires. Because if they slashed the tires, we would have been stuck in Bondo. We would have to look for money to order for replacement tires in the nearest town, which is Kisumu. Then we would have to transport that all the way to Bondo and fit those replacement tires, and that is the only way we would have been able to get the Honda Fit back to Sega, and that would have been very expensive, very expensive. They didn't break my headlights, they didn't spoil my side mirrors, they didn't do anything that would have derailed the Honda Fit properly and stopped it from moving. The damage they did is just aesthetic. The Honda Fit is functional, just as it was before, and I'm very grateful for that. That in as much as they were hurting and they were looking to also hurt me, but then they have a conscience, and because they have a conscience, there is hope for them. They are not so far gone. But I know it's a kid and maybe he will not even watch this video. These things happen, and when they do, the only thing you can do is look at the positive side. And if there is an adult that is responsible for this kid and they're able to see this video, just tell them that I forgive them, and they should try to look at the positive side of things. And that in future they will also have a car, and they will not be very happy if someone draws their car, right? So I think that is the positive side. If you think about it, the least amount of damage that could have happened is what happened. The least. And I'm grateful. And there are positives to that. Yes, there are. I thought about it and I realized there are very many positives. The first thing is, Mom is a bit gone in years. She's 61 and she fell. But then, she didn't break her legs, which would have immobilized her. She's able to walk, you know. She didn't break her spinal cord, which would have made her paralyzed, you know. I'm very, very happy about that. In that sense, I'm very grateful that it was her hand that broke and not any other part of her body that she's very dependent upon, like her legs, you understand? That's the first thing I'm grateful for. The second thing I'm grateful for is that Ronnie and I were present when she fell, you know? Because if she fell and she had no one in the compound, oh my goodness, that would have been terrible. You know, she was able to get a bit of support, moral support from us, you know? And there's utility to that. The third thing I'm grateful for is Ronnie is a CEO, a certified clinical officer. He was able to look at Mom and say, and he was able to very quickly fashion a homemade tourniquet, and he was able to advise that what Mom needed was an X-ray, after which we'd look at other measures to take. The other thing I'm grateful for is that we had a car, you know, in the compound, and we had fuel in the car, you know, and we had the Freedom Boy, who is a very good driver. and because of that, we were able to drive Mom to a hospital 30 kilometers away in the dead of night. Can you imagine if we didn't have a car? And this is the village, you know, and Mom was in a lot of pain at that time. We would have had to, you know, walk with us maybe 1 kilometer to the nearest stage and then wait for matatus headed to Busia at that time, which would not be very easy to find. Oh my goodness. It seems that God loves Mom very much. I've said it on this channel before that the day of trouble will find every person. But for those people that God loves, on the day of trouble, first it makes it so that there's a support structure around you. Ronnie was here, I was here, we had a car. You know, she only broke her hand and not another serious part of her body. The other thing is, at that time, I didn't have any money, and I was making a few phone calls here and there and trying to look for money. And, you know, I called a good friend of mine who is also a very good friend of the channel, Mr. Patrick. You guys know Patrick from South Sea, you know? You know, the fitness guy. You guys have seen him. And Patrick was able to loan me some money. And that really helped at that time. I'm very grateful for that. I've since been able to pay back Patrick's money. But I'm very grateful that he was able to loan me that money at that time. Because at that time, I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything in my wallet, you know? But Patrick came through for me and lent me that money. And because of him, I was able to take Mom to Busia. And the next day, we were able to get, you know, we were able to go see the orthopedics, and they were able to put what do we call it, a cast on her arm. So even though Mom fell, there was sort of structure around, and Mom will get better. What else? At this point, we need to do the freedom comment of the week. I've not done the freedom comment of the week in the last 2 videos. I want to pick one comment in each video and read it to you guys. The first freedom comment of the week we'll be looking at is from my video I drove home in my car 500 kilometers in the Honda Fit. There was a comment by one Raymond Ohala. This is what Raymond had to say. Congratulations. Came across your I bought a car video by chance as I was browsing YouTube for car videos 5 days ago. I ignored it, but the next day it popped up again in my searches and I watched it all, especially after mention of Sega, a town I lived and worked in the 80s to 2003. I was impressed. I am way outside the age bracket of your followers, but credit must be given where it is due. Your age is not an obstacle to the inspiration you radiate. You're an inspiration and role model for many, seniors like me included. In just 5 days, I have watched all your videos, including the KTN interview. Keep on and don't tire. I am eagerly looking forward to the vid of your return trip to Nairobi and more. Oh my goodness, this really touched me. Thank you, Mr. Raymond Ohala. I have changed my background again because the sun is setting on that other side. So the next freedom comment is by one Murithi Kibunja. This was a comment made in the latest video on the channel, you know, celebrating Christmas in the village. Son of the soil, freedom boy, freedom smile, freedom everything. Yeah, your smile speaks your happiness. Enjoy life and makes the ones around you smile as well. Enjoy the family reconnection. You're an inspiration. Thank you so much, Mr. Murithi. I'm optimistic. I'm grateful. I wish you guys well in the new year. I wish myself well in the new year. I am very certain that we will do well. But so far so good. The new year started and we are optimistic. At this point, allow me to wrap up the video. If this is your first time to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Give the video a big like. And then I'll see you in the next video.